Didn't have enough time after getting off of work to go chase these storms, but we're going to chase them in the studio, and we're going to keep you guys weather aware. Over by Winter, South Dakota, folks, we've got some new information. Look at this, Todd County and Tripp County. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning that was just updated. This is a live look at the radar. I appreciate you guys following my South Dakota friends. I certainly hope that you will continue to follow and share the live while you're on here in TikTok world as well as Facebook and YouTube. So we got a number of storms. We got three pockets of storms here. This one here, just to the west, southwest of Winter, that's moving off to the east here. Let me go ahead and play this out. We've got the pink shade there. That is the severe thunderstorm watch. That does encompass areas like White Lake, Wessington Springs, Fort Thompson, White River, Presho, Rosebud. But most of this is going to move off to a easterly track. So let me go ahead and get the polygon showed up here. This is moving southeast, and there's a new severe thunderstorm warning. This was issued at 5:27, so just a minute ago. 60-mile-an-hour winds. That's this one here, right here, I believe. This is in Central Daylight Time. It looks like they're continuing this one here. 1 second. It's like three different polygons on top of each other. There it is. It's like all of them encompassed into it. So this is the one that we're talking about right here. This is 1.5 inch hail, 60-mile-an-hour winds, lots of rain, lots of hail in here. We've got 60+ mile-an-hour winds in there. Breezy. Thanks for the follow. Chloeus, thank you very much for the follow as well. We're covering severe weather in areas of Nebraska as well as South Dakota. So we're not expecting these storms to really continue on past like the Wagner and Tripp area because it's going to take a little while for it to go through. Here we got a new one again. This is a continuation of the one that they just issued. So it's right in this area. Let's go to the southwest here and take a look. These are the ones that were concerned more for the risk of tornadic activity over by Yoder, Nebraska, as well as Albin, north of Pine Bluffs area. These ones, they have quite a big punch as well. 1 inch size hail. That severe thunderstorm warning goes from 5:12 till 6 p.m. Central Daylight Time. And then we do also have this one, 5:22 to 6 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Let me go ahead and see if we can figure out where exactly this is going to move. If it's going to end up going, well, Yoder is definitely in there. Lyman, this would be in Nebraska. Green Bella, we're covering storms. I use Storm Chaser Weather One. So the app that I use is a desktop app, Windows. WSV3 is what I use. Greeley, Colorado. We don't have any concerns for Greeley, Colorado. I'll take a look at that just to be sure, but let me go over to Greeley. 1 second here. Going down too far. Here we go. Right now in the Greeley area, you're north of Denver. Not really a whole lot going on there. Nothing severe at this moment. However, you guys are in that severe thunderstorm watch in Greeley, Colorado until 12 o'clock midnight Central Daylight Time. So these storms aren't expected to be real significant down in this area, but it would be more along the lines of this area that's right around Albin, LaGrange area, and then Scotts Bluff, and moving on, kind of in this polygon that we have right here. So as you can see, Greeley doesn't look too bad there. All right, let's see. Minnesota, we're not expecting any severe weather in Minnesota today. Little Rock, Arkansas, you guys had some things go through there quite a bit. We were going to focus primarily on South Dakota because that's where all the significant severe weather is right now. So These are in areas of Mississippi. We do have special weather statements. Georgia, there's not anything expected in Georgia for today as far as severe weather goes. Marginal risk at best. It is outlined in a marginal risk at this point. Let me kind of show you on this here. 1 second. There we go. So as you can see, Georgia really hasn't changed the risks for today. That is going to be marginal risk. That just means marginal hail, like penny, nickel size hail, nothing real impactful for your areas there. That's why I'm not focusing on it too much. Right now we have the severe thunderstorm warnings, and those are in South Dakota. I realize some of you may be like, oh, well, that's just a small area. Well, it doesn't matter. It is still severe weather, and that's the biggest risk. Yes, tough weather. I was working. I took some vacation. All right. Illinois, we're not expecting anything big there either. General thunderstorms for today. And if you guys haven't followed me, go ahead and follow me because I do live updates in the morning around 8 a.m. Central Daylight Time. Today was an exception. I had it at 9 a.m. And I go through all the risks as best as I can for the day. And that's what we typically do. So Texarkana, Texas area. Again, that area, we're not expecting anything huge. Texarkana area has, let's see what the risk is here. I believe it's just a marginal risk. Let me go ahead and check here. Got to move some things around here so I can get your guys' chats going. It's kind of busy in here. I'm not going to lie. 982 views already, and I've only been live for a couple of minutes here. All right. So areas of Texas. You guys are in a marginal risk way down in San Antonio and Beeville. Again, we're not expecting a whole lot there. There is the marginal risk over west of Amarillo. That's for today. And then tomorrow, things shift a little bit further. So you get Wichita Falls, Lawton, Norman, Oklahoma are in the marginal risk for tomorrow. And then you have more of that severe risk. It encompasses kind of the area that we're talking about right now. So let's go ahead and get back to the severe weather in South Dakota. That's where I'm from. That's what I'm going to cover. We have this severe thunderstorm warning over by just south of Aberdeen area. And let me see if I can get a ETA on this for some of these towns, these smaller towns. We got to cover that. It looks like that's the main portion of that is going to stay over the mainly rural areas, but Stratford, Condi, Brentford, Millette, South Dakota, just south of Aberdeen. You can expect to continue to see some of these storms trek off to the east a little bit, as you can see that. McKenna, I'm not able to go over the rest of the week. I do those in the mornings. Right now, when I go live, typically in the evening hours, it's only for live severe weather coverage. So those risks I'll go through tomorrow morning. Grenada, Mississippi area. So you guys do have some storms that are moving. There's one storm cell that's actually moving to the east northeast right here. And it's kind of dying out a little bit, but I could show you guys an estimate of what the radar models show. Let's go ahead and do that. We'll load the radar estimates here. So McKenna, most of the severe weather is going to be marginal and slight risks, including pretty much the northern and central plains, and then even Brandon Kopic, actually. I think he's in, it looked like he was. Oh, Corey Gherkin. Corey Gherkin is in South Dakota. You know, it's crazy, or sorry, he's near Valentine, Nebraska area, it looks like on a storm cell. Georgia's okay for today. All right, so we're kind of taking a look at the radar estimates here, okay? The time is up at the top here. Grenada, Mississippi. We're expecting some storms moving through your area around 8 p.m. Central Time. And then northern part of, it looks like Memphis, Tennessee area, sometime between 7 p.m. and midnight, you're going to have some storms brewing through there. All right, back to South Dakota and Nebraska. Let's go ahead and take a look at the timeline of this. So this is a look at around 7 p.m. Scottsbluff, Nebraska area. And kind of, again, continuing over the same areas, Valentine, Nebraska, sometime after 8 p.m. Gets pretty intense right here with that white. Let's zoom in there. That actually could be some big time hail sometime between 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. Right there. So it could have some redevelopment of these storms that are over the winter South Dakota near the Valentine, Nebraska area. And they do not have Wichita. You're okay. Be weather aware for tomorrow and um, into your Saturday, Wichita area. I'll go through some live updates here tomorrow morning with going over all the overall risks. We're staying on the live coverage here. Areas of concern too would be sometime around after 8 p.m. Hyannis, Nebraska, Oshkosh, Julesburg, Ogallala area, North Platte. We could end up with kind of a wind event right here, as you can certainly see the bowing effect, very slight, but a lot of rain expected with this too. There's a lot of moisture. Let me go ahead and show you guys what the surface temperatures and the dew points are. If I can load that here, it's taking a moment to load that, so bear with me. So right now it looks like if we go through there, the temperatures are in the upper 80s. Let me look at the dew points here. Dew points, we've got well into the 60s. So lots of fuel for these storms to keep on brewing. I will take a look at that Valentine, Nebraska one here. 1 second. Let me shut off the weather models here. Taking a moment here. Valentine's storm has rotation. Well, let's take a look at that one here. I got to get the right information up here, so one moment. Getting a correct radar to go on that. 1 second here. I got to shut this off. Go to surface. Composite. 1 second here. Trying to get a radar that's close enough. That's the tough part about seeing that on there. I can't tell if that Valentine, Nebraska one's got rotation at all. There we go. Yes, it does. All right. I had to put the right tools on. Tufts weather. I don't know if it's going to become tornado warm. It's only got an index of 6. So let's be careful. But Storm motion is east, 1.5 inch hail. We can take a look at the echo tops on there, and we can take a look at, let's take a look at the shear downdraft potential. There's a lot of downdraft potential right there, so I'd say more so of a gusty weather and definitely some storm rotation there, but the index doesn't come back with anything significant in my opinion. So I would say it's definitely not tornadic. It's certainly got some rotation, but not tornadic. So Valentine, you should be good other than obviously some big time wind with that 60-mile-an-hour gusts and 1.5 inch hail, and it's moving southeast direction, 32 miles per hour. Right now, Texas area does not have my attention. The reason for that is the slight risk for today is in areas of South Dakota and western Nebraska. So I'm not discussing those areas today. General thunderstorms, San Antonio, Corpus Christi, marginal risk. A lot of flooding. I know you guys got a lot of flooding going on down in areas of Houston and things like that, but we're primarily focusing on the severe weather risks right now. Arkansas, your guys' area does have, you already saw some significant risks pass through your area yes, or earlier today. But as of right now, most of those storms are to the northeast of Little Rock and making their way slowly but surely over to areas of Memphis. Now, those storms are not a real significant impact right now. They are special weather statements. They're having marginally sized hail. They could still end up having some risks there, but it's moving off to a east northeast type of direction, eventually going to impact areas of Memphis, Tennessee, as we get into later evening. Areas in New Mexico, Evelyn, we don't have any concerns with areas of New Mexico right at this moment, but I will take a look at that for you. One second. It looks like Raton, so northeast of Santa Fe. You do have a mesoscale discussion that has possibility for 55 to 70-mile-an-hour winds, but right now they're not severe. They are kind of training thunderstorms over in areas of eastern part of New Mexico. Your guys' overall risks for today in New Mexico is marginal. So again, that's why we're not too focused on those areas. They're marginal risks at this point. All right. So again, we do need to take a look at this and see if we have a meso. So we have a meso detection index of 5. Again, this one near Valentine, Nebraska. It does look like it's not going to turn into a tornadic type of cell, so that's great. Still packing quite a bit of severe weather there. Go to this radar, I might be able to pick up on that a little bit better. Bear with me one moment. So there is some shear in there. If we zoom into that, you can see the wind shear a little bit better here. Analyze that a little bit further if it's going to let me. It is not. So let's go back to reflective. As you can see, considerable damage here, 60+ mile-an-hour winds, 1.5 to 1.75 inch hail in this storm that's over by just on the border of Valentine, Nebraska and south of Mission, South Dakota. This is probably the most intense storm that we have in areas of South Dakota. We do have another storm that is up here in Aberdeen area, but not packing near as much of a punch. This one right here, put the radar on that. This is 1.5 inch hail, and this is trekking off to the east. This is eventually going to impact areas that's Bradley and Wallace, Turton. These are going to be storms that have the capability of producing slightly higher than 50-mile-an-hour wind gusts, and then 1.5 inch hail has been reported to that. Isaac Melendez, I do report weather. I'm a weather spotter. I'm officially trained as a weather spotter, if that's your question. But I'm not a meteorologist, if that's maybe your question, Isaac. I'm not a trained meteorologist. I don't have a degree, but I am a weather enthusiast as well as a trained weather spotter, and I've been chasing for a number of years off and on. So appreciate the question. All right, let's go back to these storms down here in areas of Nebraska because that is where we do have that risk for tornadic activity. Uh, the tornado risk is encompassing areas that are Shadron, Nebraska, Harrison, Nebraska, Scotts Bluff, Alliance, those areas, as well as over into areas of Wyoming, like the Lusk and Douglas and Glendo, Wheatland, Wheatland areas and Torrington. And again, this pinkish shaded area is all a uh, tornado watch. That tornado watch goes until midnight, Central Daylight Time. The impacts that could be felt from that would be possibility of 70-mile-an-hour winds. Most of these are going to be trekking off to the east, northeast. We do have this slightly red polygon, and that kind of encompasses the direct general direction of most of these storms moving to the east, northeast. We aren't expecting these storms to impact areas where I live, which would be like the Sioux Falls region. We do have like a little bit of some wind over in Del Rapids area, having a hard time picking up on that um, because we're so close to the radar there. But again, these storms are not expected to be severe around the Sioux Falls area. Any chance of it making it up to southeast North Dakota? Let's take a look. 1 second here. Not today, no. Um, Possibly some storms could make their way into southeast part of North Dakota, and I mean severe storms could possibly make their way to southeast portion of North Dakota by the time we get to Saturday. But if you've been waiting for some rain, you do have in southeast portion of North Dakota, you do have some general thunderstorms that are expected over the next few days. So great question, Brooke. I appreciate you being here. And thanks for the follow if you're not following already. All right. Again, most of these storms are going to continue to trek off to the east, not expecting them to make their way much farther north than the uh, northern portion of South Dakota, as you can see here. And again, we do have that area of circulation. The meso detection shows base height of 27 knots. 5 is the index. It was 6 earlier, so this is not dying out, but the rotation is minimal. We don't expect this to have that tornadic threat. There is still considerable damage expected because now we do have 2-inch hail in these areas here. See if I'm able to bring this to a different level here. 1 second. All right, this is level 3 radar that we have here. 2-inch hail. This severe thunderstorm warning doesn't expire for another 23 minutes. I do need to go to my severe weather coverage boxes so that way we can get this up here a little bit better. So this is all throughout the United States. The ticker above here above my head. That will go through all the severe thunderstorm warnings for all the counties and the states, and then it shows when it expires. We got the watches down below. We also have the severe thunderstorm warnings scrolling through there as well. But the ticker up at the top gives you more of the information, a little bit more in depth, um, and gives you that information. Still have some bugs to work out. I see it says 448 miles per hour wind. That's definitely not the case. So we do have a few things to work through. Hey, Poison Alt. Hey, how Dallas and last night was crazy, and rain and thunderstorms was hundreds and winds. Yeah, there definitely has been some significant weather for the last few days, a couple of days for sure in areas of Texas. So understandable. You do have severe thunderstorm warning now for Brooks County, Texas. See if that is just an update. They may have canceled it, so let's verify that here. I don't see any polygons that suggest Texas has anything. Let's go back to level 2 radar here and see if there's anything. Oh, it's way down here. So way down south of Corpus Christi. So that is the area that is in the marginal risk for today. Um, way down to Corpus Christi area. So we do expect that to kind of meander to a east southeast direction, or I'm sorry, east northeast direction. Most of these storms are going east northeast, and 50-mile-an-hour wind gusts. Nothing real huge down there, thankfully. Again, most of the severe weather is in this area here. Let's take a look at this one here. We do over by Fairmont, Minnesota. Let's take a look at the risks. That is a marginal risk there. There is the potential, probability of a severe thunderstorm watch being issued is 20% in this area. So I would suspect that these will probably continue to meander a few spot up thunderstorms, but won't be too significant. Here's the areas that could be impacted by the severe thunderstorm warning over in Fairmont, Minnesota. 5:35 impacted Ormsby, Truman at 6:12, and then Northrop, Minnesota, 617. So it's moving pretty slow. This is moving at 21 miles per hour. And then you got this hail detection here. Let's take a look at some of the reports and see what we've had so far. See if there's been any official reports. It looks like there has been some reports over in areas to the south of Mission. There was zero point 0.8 inch hail that was hidden timber northwest of Hidden Timber, South Dakota. And then Todd County, that did have the 1.5 inch magnitude for hail. Again, most of these are going to continue to move off to an easterly direction or southeast direction. Few pop-up storms could end up brewing all the way up here into Chamberlain area. So I just wanted to bring this information to your guys' attention. We do also have some storms down here in areas of Nebraska. See if I can get a radar to pull up there. 1 second. So number of reports, we've got Storm Chaser. There was a report 64 miles per hour, wind gust measured with handheld Kestrel. And Train Spotter estimated 60-mile-an-hour winds in Albin. We have a new severe thunderstorm warning up in areas of Pennsylvania. Marginal risk up there. They do have a mesoscale discussion on that, but that mesoscale discussion is expected to expire in the next couple of minutes. Possible watch would be 40%. So we're not really expecting a whole lot up in areas of Allentown, Williamsport, kind of that Newark area. Um, is it making it up to Lusk? Sorry, Lusk. Let me check here. Are you talking about Wyoming or talking about Pennsylvania? I'm not even sure where. Okay, Wyoming. Let me take a look here. One second. Got to find where the general area is. Torrington. Let's go back over here. There is that potential because Lusk area is in a marginal risk, so we could have some of that potential over in the Lusk area. Here, just to the south of you is where that severe thunderstorm watch is, and that doesn't expire until midnight. So if a few of these rogue cells, uh, Carson, if these rogue cells could get away from the general area, you could end up having that impact. So stay weather aware is the main thing that you got to do at this point. No need to apologize. All right, so we have Martin and Watonwan County, Minnesota. Update to that severe thunderstorm warning. Oh, they did another issuance of it, it looks like. So this one was issued just a couple of moments ago, and that is 1 inch hail, 60-mile-an-hour winds. And this is going to be impacting to areas of Fairmont. Obviously, one is expiring, but it's taken a turn. So Granada area of Minnesota. There, that one did allow to expire. It's only moving to the southeast at 17 miles per hour. So if I get to the right radar, it might be able to help me see that a little bit better. Give me a moment here. So this one right here, meso strength 5. I don't expect any, even though it's got some rotation in there, it's very loose rotation. It is not expected to have a tornadic type of event, but the winds are 60-mile-an-hour winds, as well as moving off to the southeast at 17 miles an hour. So here's the thing: it does say it's got a tornado possible tag on it. That's interesting. That's got to be because of the wind that's associated with it. So just be aware if you're in areas of Fairmont, Minnesota, tornado possible tag is on that storm there, and that's moving off to the southeast very slowly at 17 miles per hour. I do suspect this area that has this other storm right here, those two will probably connect, and one's going to drain the energy from the other, and eventually that will die out. But until that time, stay weather aware if you're in the path of this. Let's go back to this storm cell over here into areas of extreme south central part of South Dakota. What do you got? Oh, all right. All right. So this storm here, again, this one does not have, it has a damage threat is considerable, but it does not have a tornado possible tag on it. It still is pretty impactful in this region here. Mainly staying over rural areas, but the meso strength has gone back up to a 6. Lots of hail in this particular storm here. As you can see, it's moving off to the southeast. Let's take a look at today's um, storm reports. This is overall throughout the United States. There's been 6 hail reports, 4 thunderstorm wind damage reports, and then wind gust reports, 6, and 1 tornado was reported earlier. Where those specific ones are, I don't have that right now, but goodness gracious, been a long day already. Let's go back up north. We do have this severe thunderstorm right here that's impacting to the east of Millette, and it's moving off to the east, showing it's kind of losing its strength because it did have 1.5 inch hail. Now it's about 1 1/4. Still pretty impactful, but not nearly as much as it was. And that's going to continue to move off to areas of the to the east. There's a better look at it. Hmm. This will impact areas of Doland eventually. Frankfurt, obviously, it's right on top of Frankfurt. And again, uh, moving off to the east at 31 miles per hour. This will eventually make its way over to Bradley, Garden City, South Dakota. If we put a storm motion on this, you can see that it's moving off to the east. We don't see any signature of a meso. So we're good there. No rotation. A lot of wind is expected, as you can kind of see the curvature right there. Let's go back down to these storms that are down into the south central part of South Dakota. We do have considerable damage expected for these, but as you can see over the time of these loops, it has died out. That hail is 2.5 inches, though, down here in areas of Valentine. Hold on, folks, 1 second. All right, folks. So we do have 2.5 inch hail. This is considerable damage. I'm actually quite surprised that there's not a rotation on this, but a 2.5 inch hail. If we take a look at the, let's take a look at base velocity here and see if there's any signatures that would suggest rotation. I'm going to have to turn on level 3 here. 1 second. Shut that off and get these back to the basics here. 1 second. All right. Don't see anything that's suggesting that we would need to have any kind of a tornado threat there, but still, nothing that shows rotation, but there is a lot going on with that storm down there, that's for sure. Got to switch radars and then I can take a better peek at this rotation here. Whoa, holy cow, there is rotation on that. Had to get the right radar. So right now we've got rotation just to the northeast of Valentine, Nebraska. So that has a meso detection of 6. And we have this is moving off to the southeast. It doesn't have any areas. I mean, obviously, Valentine, Nebraska, it's pretty intense storm there. But it looks like it's going to mainly remain over rural areas, which, yes, that's still impactful to farmers, but goodness gracious. Haley, Jackson, Tennessee. I can take a look at that real quick for you. Jackson, Tennessee, I'll take a look on a different route here. You guys are in that marginal risk. Jackson, Tennessee, you guys just to the east of Jackson, Tennessee, you got some storms brewing up, but you're going to have more storms because they're starting to make their way over to areas of Memphis. But again, marginal risk just means that it's outside of, you're not going to expect the 70 plus mile an hour winds, is all that means. Could be 50 to 60 mile an hour winds and some marginally severe hail, which would be to the tune of maybe some nickel-size hail in those areas. Thanks, Storm Chaser Weather One. I appreciate you staying with us this whole time. Looks like you're still in the #1 spot. That's awesome. Wichita area. Tufts Weather's back in here. Oh, maybe not. No, he's not. I moved back up. So, all right. So again, this is area of concern just to the east and north of Valentine, Nebraska. Hey, Josh Allen, Truman, Minnesota looking like hail. Let me take a look. I got my follower on. Ooh, hang on 1 second. There is a severe thunderstorm warning up there, so let me switch that over here. Josh, I appreciate you being here from Facebook. He has been a follower, true and true, for a long time, and I appreciate it. I gotta go. I got kids in the house going crazy here, so 1 second, I gotta find a radar that I can pull that up on a little bit better. Go to my basic composite here. Yes, this definitely looks like there's some hail in this. It is moving off to the southeast, so I think the biggest part of that is going to probably miss Truman, Minnesota. Does show 1 inch hail. So it looks like Northrop and Grenada are the areas that are going to be impacted by the center of the storm. So you should be okay, Josh. There is a storm that was just to the northwest of that area in Minnesota, Ormsby area, that did have a report of 1.3 inch hail. And then Wyndham does have another storm cell that's trying to get going, but I don't think they're going to be able to brew up much more than what has already happened here. All right, areas of concern. Let's go back to South Dakota here. Again, as a reminder, we do have the severe thunderstorm watch that is in effect until midnight. Severe thunderstorm warning in Montana. Goodness gracious, Montana. Oh, we probably got things brewing for tomorrow's fun. Zoom out and show you tomorrow's fun if we can. 1 second here. Dang, guys. We got some crazy stuff going on here. So we got Corey Gherkin that is over by Winter, northwest of Winter, South Dakota. He's likely setting up some fun weather over the course of the next couple of days because we do have some risks for areas of western part of South Dakota. What did you mean by index earlier? That was the oh, what do I mean by the index? Let me go back to that and I'll show you. 1 second. All right, so meso strength index is what I was referring to. Mesocyclone strength index, or MSI, of 5 is considered weak. So it was weak rotation. When you get a little bit higher, then you have concerns. But that's kind of what I meant by that. So we do still have severe thunderstorm warnings 10 of them. They're not all in South Dakota, thankfully, but they're spread out a ways. Let's go back down to the south here if we can. And we have some storms brewing up here by Columbus, Mississippi area. This is a special weather statement, 40-mile-an-hour wind gusts, so it's not anything nearly as severe as things that are going on in South Dakota and Nebraska area, but still wanted to make sure that I covered those. Again, this one here is over Macomb, areas of Louisiana. Louisiana, Jackson, kind of that border area. Let's go back to South Dakota. I won't be live the whole entire time here. How did I see that? That's something that WSV3 gives. They So just to give you an idea, Tufts weather about the meso index of 5. While specific units aren't used for MSI, a score of 5 likely relates to strength rate attribute with the MDA. Um, Strength rank of greater than 5 may trigger the display of a thick circle with spikes on radar representing a significant mesocyclone. So that's why the rotation kind of shows up in there. I hope that kind of explains it a little bit further. All right, so we've got Torrington and Henry, which would be areas of apologies, areas of Wyoming. We got all these storm reports already with 60-mile-an-hour winds. As a reminder, there are some areas that are in that tornado risk for today. Those areas would be over by Torrington. And it does look like it's starting to strengthen quite a bit over here by Torrington. Let's see if we can, we've got a couple of different storm cells right in there. So if you're in Torrington right now, you got 1.25 inch hail, and this storm is moving off to the east at 24 miles per hour, 50-mile-an-hour wind gusts. But I would suspect they're going to upgrade that a little bit further, and it's probably going to intensify. There we go. We got another polygon here. 1 second. See if this is on here. 1 second here. That's 1.75 inch hail. We got a special weather statement on this one down here. This was issued at 6:15 moments ago, and that is moving east at 53 miles per hour. So this is likely going to turn into that wind event. Dalton, Nebraska, 6:43. This storm is capable of producing some hail, half-inch size. I do suspect that this is going to likely intensify. So areas to the east of that, so that'd be Dalton and Oshkosh. You'll definitely want to stay weather aware and weather alert. You're in Shadron. Oh, you want to see velocity on this. So velocity, you can take a look. If you look at level 2, so you have to go to NextRad Pro if you're looking at WSV3 software in order to utilize the base velocity. Level 2, NextRad Pro, go to that. And then you have to switch to the proper radar so that you can actually see that information. Um, Somebody was asking about Shadron, Nebraska area. Let me go back to show you guys some model estimates here. Let me shut off the live radar here for 1 second. New severe thunderstorm warning, and that's Madalgo, way down into the southern tip of Texas. Let me show you Shadron here. 1 second. I'm sorry I'm taking so long here, but just got to load these. All right, looks like you're going to have some stormy weather brewing. It may end up missing you. I'm trying to pull that in there. There we go. Shadron, 7 p.m. So over the next couple hours. But the main concern would be like this area here. That's going to have those impacts for wind right here. A special weather statement has been issued for Clark, South Dakota, including Dolan, South Dakota, and Raymond, South Dakota, until 6:45 p.m. Central Daylight Time. So as I was suspecting, that was going to die out, and it has. It's no longer a severe thunderstorm warning, but rather a special weather statement. All right, so Shadron doesn't look too bad for you, which is good. All right, so my wife's on her way home from work, so I'm planning on stopping the live here because I don't suspect that this is going to be an all-night type of thing. I really don't. But there are some risks for tomorrow and I'll go over at my live tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Central Daylight Time. And those risks are for areas of Rapid City, Gillette, Wyoming, Billings, Montana. Um, it also includes areas of Cheyenne, Wyoming, um, Hayes, Kansas, Garden City, Dodge City, Guyman, Oklahoma, and all the way down into areas of Amarillo. Yeah, I don't know why it has to storm. That's life, buddy. Let me go ahead and take a look at Tennessee for you. Again, this is an estimate of what timing. So Memphis area, it looks like you got that storm right on top of you. Special weather statement. Let me pull that up here and see if I can get a better eye on that storm. All right, we do have severe thunderstorm warning, Goshen County and Platte County, Wyoming, 6:19 to 6:45. That was an update there. There we go. Now we got the radar pulled up. All right, so you can kind of see this a little bit better in areas of Memphis is right smack here. Um, we don't have a special weather statement on the one outside of Memphis, but I suspect that these are going to end up having a special weather statement, if not we got hail detection in there, 1.25, so they're probably going to be issuing a severe thunderstorm warning for areas of Memphis, Tennessee here shortly. So just be aware of that. It does have that detection of hail. Base velocity wise, it's a little hard to see on this one. Vertical integrated liquid, yeah, there's some hail in there for sure. Looks like 61.5 kilograms. So I don't know why they're not issuing that yet. They should be issuing a severe thunderstorm warning because that's got hail in there. But I'm not the expert. I'm the person that just does the reporting. So if any of you are in Memphis area and you're in a safe place and you hear of hail, that would be great to let me know. I'm going to play this through. As you can see, it's kind of moving off to an east-northeast direction very slowly. Lots on its way. Some of these storms are moving off to a northerly track. Chavez County and Roosevelt County, New Mexico, we have an updated severe thunderstorm warning over in that area. So these storms are getting rolling over here by Clovis. You turn on the surface information here and figure out the dew points. Is Georgia all right? Georgia's all right. It's like storming right now, but I want to make sure. Let me go over to Georgia real quick. You guys for Georgia, marginally severe. You got special weather statements if you're down southwest of Vidalia area. No risk, less than 2% risk for tornado activity over in Georgia, so you're good there. So if you're north of Douglas area, you've got a special weather statement. Just north of Peachtree City and north of, or right on top of Roswell and Canton areas of Georgia. Those are really the only ones in Georgia right now, and I don't suspect that those are going to get any more intense for today. You go back over to this storm here. Again, this is New Mexico. These storms are going to be continuing to brew overnight hours, and then redevelopment is possible for those storms over the course of tomorrow. And that would be the area that would end up impacting more northerly of Amarillo. So we do suspect these storms to kind of brew up and then impacting areas of Guyman for tomorrow, Syracuse, Kansas, Cheyenne Wells. You can barely see it, but this is where the dry line is kind of right now. We've got an 82-degree temperature, but the dew point is 46 degrees there. And here we have 46-degree dew point and 79-degree temp. But then Alliance, you got 63-degree dew point. So when you have that warm, moist air clashing with the drier, cooler air, that's when you get those possibilities of tornadoes. And that's why this area of Nebraska, Alliance, Scottsbluff, Chadron area, you guys even down at Kimball, or not Chadron, but Sydney area of Nebraska, you do have that possible um, risks of tornadic activity. You're welcome, Brownie. All right, so I'm going to let you guys go. I need to give some time to my wife and the family. I was working earlier, my full-time job. Just take a look at this one here. Again, reminder, this pink zone, as you see it there, that's all a severe thunderstorm watch. So you got a long night ahead of you. That severe thunderstorm watch is in effect until midnight. Hail, wind are the primary threats as you get further north. Just these areas, buddy. I don't expect Mitchell to be in that. I don't expect Sioux Falls to be in a severe thunderstorm watch. I expect this to stay here and then it's going to die out. I don't suspect that we're going to have any concerns east of who? Who has a tornado risk? Yes, that was updated at 11:30. They have a tornado risk over in Alliance, Scottsbluff, and Dalton and Kimball, Nebraska.